Hey, what's up, Hussein? Quick demo video for you for your Aniflex V2 by 7 Chambers. Got this done this morning, but I was trying to finish up some things before I made this video, and finally got done. So I want to go over it with you. Apologize if this video is noisy. I've got both my printers going, trying to set myself up for next week. But this install the Proffie V2. Let's get my battery over here. You've got CCSabers LEDs in there. If you can see those, I know it's kind of hard to see. There's not very much light, but you can kind of make them out in there. So 2 button setup, but per your request, I made the activation switch down here, and then your auxiliary switch is this one up top here, right? To get to your chassis, you want to unscrew your pommel. I'm going to put a simple little tool in your box to help you do that. You just need to use it for the first couple twists, and then you can come over here and do it with your finger, and then the same thing, tightening it back up, but I'll show you how to do that too. So we unscrew that guy, this comes off, and then you'll see your speaker right there. So you just go like that, and your chassis comes right out, just like this. You've got your Proffie board right here. Easy access to your micro USB and your SD card. You don't even have to move the board if you don't want to. You can pop it up though, it's just a snap fit down into the shelf. And then there's a little piece right here into the chassis for a little piece of art tape. So in the future, if you feel like you need that, or if it's getting a little loose on you, throw a piece of art tape around there. It'll hold the board really well, and then it won't get in the way of sliding in and out of the saber, right? You've got removable battery right here. So spring side's your negative. Battery right here, 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. And we'll throw a battery in real quick. One thing about throwing the battery in, make sure that you have the negative side all the way down into the chamber, then come into the springs and snap it in place to make sure all the contacts are doing everything that they should, and then you'll get that sound. Before we throw this in your saber, there are a few things that I had to do to this guy, right? So obviously I put your grips on. I've got a grip guide for that, no biggie. When it comes to your Covertech though, I had to take about 2.5 threads off this Covertech screw in order to get this to fit on and then not have anything inside the handle chamber. And then I also did that with the control box. So I popped this gold piece off, take those 2 screws out, take about 2.5 threads off of them, and then put everything back together. It's imperative that nothing is inside this chamber so that this chassis can slide in and out and not have any resistance, right? I'll show you the Smuggler's Outpost Switch Pixel PCB set that I'm using. I'll unscrew the saber this time. It's not something that you need to do. I also wouldn't recommend doing it. I'm just doing it this one time to show you what it looks like. We're almost there. There we go. So you got your 14 pins right here, right? All 14 pins. It's got its own chassis system right here that stays in place. That piece of chassis actually holds this 14 pin PCB, and it holds your main PCB as well. And it's locked in with a tiny set screw that you probably won't see on camera, but there's one right here, right? So I don't ever suggest putting your chassis in here and then screwing it on this way. You're going to side load the pins and they might bend on you. So don't ever do that when you have a setup like this, right? You want to come at those pins head on so that they engage the way that they were meant to be engaged, which was just by the springs that are inside of them. So we'll lock this down. You'll probably never have to unscrew that. I just wanted to show you what it looked like, right? What else did I do? I shaved down your blade retention screw. So we got that all taken care of. And then yours is the first Aniflex that I've done, and I've done quite a few, right? That had a bolt sticking out or a screw sticking out on the top inner piece of your emitter. So I went in there with a file and kind of filed that down. It's just enough to where I can get a blade past it. It's on the opposite side as your blade retention, so it's actually kind of acts as its own blade retention, you know, in unison with this one on the bottom. So it's not hurt anything at this point, right? I went to do this demo earlier today, didn't even realize that was there, and I couldn't get the blade in, so I went out to the garage and fixed that. So that's your saber. Now when we get the battery inside the chassis, you can put it in any way you want. Slide it right in just like that so you see your speaker, and then we'll take your pommel and we'll screw it back on. You can do as much as you can with your fingers until it starts getting tight, And then you can take this little tool that that we use to take it off. We can use that to put it back on. It's cheap, it's simple, but it works well. You just have the stock font package on here, right? So you said you're going to do your own configs and everything like that. So I didn't even put a copy of the config file on the SD card. It's the one that you pull off the Proffie website. So activation down here. Auxiliary. Turn it off. And we'll throw a blade in. This takes a 7/8 inch blade, as you know. Sounds like you're getting a KR V2 blade to put in this guy. If you're having trouble finding the pixel count for that, like we were talking about earlier, let me know. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know enough people where I can reach out and I can get that answer pretty easy for you. Just going to lock this blade down. So we got the blade locked down. Nice and bright, right? Auxiliary. We'll go to the next one.
Smooth Jedi.
Nice blue blade for Anakin. Good flash on flash. Whoops, I accidentally turned it off. I just left it at stock everything, so I think the stock is like 2.7 on your threshold. Usually when I make configs for people, I put the motion controls on and I bump the threshold up to about a 3.7, so keep that in mind.
Smooth gray.
Go to the next one.
Smooth fuzz.
This is just a functionality test, really, because just stock fonts, really.
Rogue Commander.
I think this is the rainbow blade. Oh no, it's coming on.
C.
That one's bright, right?
Smooth Jedi.
One more.
Smooth gray.
I think there's actually another one after this one. Nice flash on flash on all of them.
Smooth fuzz.
I think this one's the rainbow blade. There we go. Sometimes that doesn't pick up very good on camera. If you were picking up the reflection of it though, like from a mirror or a TV screen or something like that, it picks up really well. But you'll see that really good in person. Everything's solid on this guy. We'll go ahead and take the blade out. Yeah, super solid. I don't think you'll have any problems at all. I did come in here on, well, in your case, it's the power button. I shaved down the actual tactile switch, and then I come in here with some JB Weld. And when I'm putting this guy on right here, it has to be clocked in a certain way so you get that tactile feel. And then I'm sorry, not JB Weld, E6000. I didn't JB Weld these threads. E6000 on these threads, and then I clock that to where it needs to be, and then I let it sit for a while and it stays in place. With E6000, you can take that off in the future if you need to. If I JB Weld that thing, it's never coming off. But so now to get the chassis out, we'll just use that tool again. We're just going to loosen the pommel a little bit, and then come in here with our fingers and do the rest. Just like that. Try not to drop it. See your speaker, right? that thing will just slide right out on you sometimes. Sometimes it'll slide right out. So you want to make sure your hand is cupped so it doesn't fall onto the floor, right? And then come in from the positive side next to the speaker and just pull it out right there with your finger. And then I'll put this back in the saber for safekeeping. But yeah, that is your saber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I will try to package this guy up this evening and get it out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right? Thanks.